Hello, what's up, guys? My name's Kevin Davis, and welcome to the Kevirsyle Network, where we like to have fun, talk about mental health, talk about creators, whoever wants to come on the show. um, a bit of background about me: I'm an author, entrepreneur, comic creator, and I have a lot of hats. I've been told I'm an overachiever, which I don't mind because it's kind of hilarious. But today's episode, I am with an amazing person. She's one of my best friends. She's an amazing cook, baker, amazing writer. I can't talk enough about her because she's one of the most talented people I've ever met and became friends with. So let me introduce to you my friend August Lewis.
Hi, you already started
Hey
making me
August, how
cry.
you doing?
I'm doing okay. You started making me cry already. I'm really in the game for this.
How why you started crying for?
No, I don't take compliments well. That's the first thing. I just don't.
Oh
I don't know
man.
why.
Oh,
uh,
well, I'm gonna start out with an icebreaker, like a random rapid fire question. Do you have a favorite pop singer or pop group that you love?
Pop singer. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to be in pop. I used to love pop. I'm more of a theater kid nowadays. But with pop music, I love like anything like Backstreet Boys. My dad put me on AC/DC.
Oh snap! Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I like certain like a lot of like classic, I guess like rock. Um and then who's I know there's another pop don't remember her name. I like some Sabrina Carpenter. I started to listen to Olivia Rodrigo recently. She's pretty good.
Interesting. I love her. I love her.
Hmm.
All right. Speaking more about your being a theater kid, how's like what's the process with being a theater kid? Like, how is that?
It is a very long and I'm gonna say daunting sometimes process. It
Oof.
is amazing. It's a lot of fun though, because I think that where I first started off was like through like a singing app, which they did like competitions and it started to get like more professional in a way.
Mm.
And we used like some people started YouTube channels for it and like actual shows. And I ended up getting back into it like 2022, 2023 esque. And I ended up, it's a very supportive community. I needed to find a community that was very accepting of both the autistic community and the LGBTQ community. And that was the immediate snap of, okay, this is through Discord and Smule. Let's go. And I made the
Mm.
most amazing friends. Luca's amazing. And I've been friends with some of these people for like 4 or 5 years. And then my dad ended up finding a theater company called Epic Players. And like this
Oh, okay.
huge shout out to them because I ended up finding out that I've been friends with this person since high school, and we didn't even know that we were going to be in the same company together till like I think it was like what was it? It was a musical masterclass that I had shadowed back in February of last year, and auditions had already passed, and I had to wait another couple months up until I think June 22nd to audition, and it's a theater company in New York City, and I believe also now in LA that
Mm.
is specifically neuro inclusive. So it's people with Down syndromes, autism, ADHD, dyslexia, anything and everything from learning disabilities to cognitive disabilities, coordination disorders. And it shows that people like us can do what neurotypicals could do in theater. Like I met Connor Tate for the first time and he's in Epic Players and he was on Broadway and
Mm.
very tall, very sweet, very shy person. Makes me nervous. I'm like looking up at him. And that company is the most supportive company. I have an amazing, amazing advisor who helps me with auditions. Next year's Rent, which I am like pumping my fist up in the air. I love Rent and the representation it has for both the
Mm.
POC community and the LGBTQ community. And I'm over here like I want to audition, and my friend since high school. Shout out to Schaefer, love him. He's like, go for it. And I got friends in my online theater community who are all like, go for it. We'll help you out. We'll like, let's
Mm.
practice. Let's do the actual show. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Um,
Beautiful.
it is a very hard process. It is frustrating at times coming from experience of I auditioned for a Dream Rolls Cabaret for Epic Players, and I did get rejected, which did upset me the very first time because I ended up having to wait an extra week to find out about the casting, and they were like, "Hey, we weren't casted, but keep trying. You got this." And I'm like, "Okay, I've got this. The next cabaret is Y2K. I can't audition for that because school."
Mm.
But they're like, they still give you opportunities to work backstage and to help with concessions. And it is such an amazing, amazing community. Like, I never would have found like just an amazing like group of friends. I have Alyssa and Jillian. Like, I've got like a whole staff server for my staff for my server. Um, which is interesting because I could have just had it in that, but no, I wanted another server for it. And they're an amazing group of people. Jillian and Luca, they'll send reminders when I'm busy with work or school or hanging out with friends or talking to you guys, or like if I just need a mental day off, they're like, "Hey, we understand, take that day off." Or if I'm even like really sick,
Mm.
they'll be like, "Okay, like we got this. We'll send out the reminders. Don't bother looking online. Don't stress." And that's why I love the theater community. It's maybe a daunting process in real life, but with online theater, it's a little easier. I mean, it's still semi-professional. I'm still taking 5 to 6 years to get an actual lead role. And our my friends are like been doing theater for 5 plus years, so I get feedback from them, and there's it's amazing. I love it. Daunting but amazing.
I feel that. I feel that. Oh my lord. Especially with writing, yes, I understand completely about the daunting part. I don't know much about theater. I know a lot about writing.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're an inspiring writer. Can you tell us what made you get into writing? And is there like a movie or show that inspired you wanted to get into writing, or a person or something?
It was people actually. Actually, according to my teachers back in like middle school, high school, and my parents would remind me about this, was what would be on my like. I think it's not an IEP, but it was like on like a form, like a report form,
Hmm.
where they go participates too much in class, but also writes too much detail, like says what they're thinking, and I find it funny. And then I think when this is hard because I'm trying to remember what I actually started getting into writing. I think it was like during COVID. We were stuck at home. My brother, I've got a younger brother, so him and
Hmm.
I are both at home, and my parents were working at home with 3 or 4 of the coworkers, and
Oof.
it's very stressful. COVID was horrible. It was not fun.
Oh yeah.
And I needed something to do because we couldn't get out of the house.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm watching these shows. I'm like watching. I think I was trying to get into Supernatural at the time. I got into it and like now. I was watching like Supernatural to The Flash to Riverdale to just I was rewatching all these shows, and I realized I love writing. Like I've got notebooks like worth of old writing that I used to do back in elementary school that I still go back to. I remember I did a project on mythology. Mythology was a huge love of mine. I
Ooh.
got into George O'Connor, I believe, he was a comic book writer. Comic book writer. He did mythology. He wrote, I think, 12 different comics. He wrote about Hermes and Artemis, Apollo, Poseidon, Hephaestus. He wrote like a bunch of them. Like, of course, the main gods and a couple like lesser known goddesses. I still have to buy a couple more of his books. I lost a couple. What's these? And that got me to the biggest part of writing. Is like, oh my god, like I'm also like an avid reader, so being able to read all these books and realize, oh my god, like this is my calling. If it wasn't cooking, it would be theater, writing, reading, whatever I could possibly do to keep a job, um
Mhm.
or to do what I love, which is yeah, it also is people. I was very nervous about my writing. I don't take compliments well. I'm a very harsh grader of myself because of school, because of college. I did a paper on we had to psychoanalyze a movie for
Mhm.
psychology, and I psychoanalyzed Dear Evan Hansen, and I shockingly got a 100 on that paper. I don't know how to this day. This is at my old college.
Oh, okay.
Some of my past roommates, my friends from the first college will know what I'm talking about. They'll probably remember the teacher. I don't even remember his name. Um, and just learning like, oh my god, like I love this. I love doing what I do. And I think you were the first person I went to with writing. I was writing fanfics. I was writing a TV show and a movie, and I think I ended up dropping that recently because I want to focus on originals and fanfics. I love writing fanfics. I write too much on an AO3. I write too much on Wattpad. Wattpad trauma for anybody who knows what Wattpad is. We love Wattpad, but I was getting chapters done like maybe 4 or 5 a week because I had so many hours after homework just to do what I wanted to do. If it wasn't theater, I would be writing. And I just like, and you and Katie were very like on top of it. You're like, we love it. And then you would give me feedback, which is what I was able to take use of and advantage of. And that made me become a better writer and love writing even more. Like, no joke, I probably would have stopped writing if somebody told me this is shit. This is bad. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse.
You're allowed to do anything. It's fine.
Okay.
Don't
Um,
worry.
this is crap. Like I've like you guys are very honest about it, and I'll go to my friends who are writers as well and be
Mhm.
like, I need like second, third, fourth opinions, like but it was a lot of like you guys just were like, keep doing this, you got this, you motivate me at my server. Like I'm writing a book right now based off of like a murder mystery, and it's like different people or I'm making it college kids at this point. College
Mm,
kids who are from different schools who are really good friends, and one of them is a serial killer.
mm.
I won't say who it is because I still need to figure that out myself. But the first chapter is already being written, and you guys are immediately like, "This is really cool. This is really good." I'm like, "Is it really?" I'm like, "Ah." But it's a lot of my friends. Like they're the huge motivators for my writing.
Heck yeah. And also back to the theater. Did you like even grow up knowing theater? Like, did your family were fans of theater growing up?
My
And was that
dad
was that also like an inspiration to get into theater?
It is. My dad, when we were younger, when I was younger, I had no idea what the context of the show was.
Hmm.
My dad would play, and my dad's an amazing person. My dad, he would play Seasons of Love like on repeat, like maybe once or twice a month. And I had
Heck
no
yeah.
idea that it was from like, I think I had asked him when I was like 10, 11. He was like, you'll see it when you're older because context, I finally know it now and I'm like,
Yeah.
every time I see it.
Yeah.
Um, and it was
Uh,
such a good such a good song, and it's a song that I play to help me go to sleep nowadays because it's such a beautiful song even with the context. My dad he had seen Phantom of the Opera and he was like with my mom when they were dating, when they got married, they'd seen it like maybe 3 or 4 times, and he ended up taking us to shows. My mom and my dad, when we moved to New York, because we didn't live in New York the whole time. My dad
okay.
had taken me to go see different shows like once a year, twice a year, if we were able to afford it. Um, and the very first two shows we saw, they're no longer on Broadway, sadly, were Little Mermaid and Mary Poppins. We saw The Little Mermaid, I believe, with my grandma and my grandpa, who is no longer with us. So this is an amazing memory for me. And my aunt, so my mom's sister and her, I know it wasn't her husband, it was my mom's sister. We saw Mary Poppins. And I remember like I was in awe. And I'm trying not to brag because it make me sound like a rich bitch by saying this, or rich witch, for Leaky, not lover. A I'd seen maybe up to like 10 plus shows by now, and a lot, and
Mm,
I will never take this for granted because we're my dad and my mom, like we made this a tradition for every Christmas. They would, because I became a huge theater kid. Like I did theater in school. My parents would come to my shows. I did like Peter Pan. What was it? In elementary school, I did Peter Pan. I was a lost boy. Now I know the context that it's a little racist to sing Ugga Wug now. Um, what is it? What was the other show I did? I know I was in one other show. I'll figure it out. Oh, Annie. I played
Ah,
Annie and Bye
nice.
Bye Birdie. Bye Bye Birdie, I played Mr. Mayor, which was interesting.
Very
At the
interesting.
time, I didn't
Okay.
want to play like any male roles. I asked specifically to play female roles. Um,
Okay.
and then I also was in Annie, and I was ensemble for that whole thing. And I loved being ensemble for Annie. Annie was a really fun show. And then I did ensemble for Shrek in sixth grade. And I
Oh, Shrek. I freaking love Shrek. Oh man.
it was very interesting playing an angry mob, chasing off an old classmate of mine. Because he was so short, and but doing this like it discouraged me from theater. But getting back, like,
Mm,
but my parents were like, "You got this, keep going." Um, my parents like loved what I did, and they. Unlike my brother who says I sound like a dying horse or a dying goose every once in a while. Then again, siblings. It's siblings. It. What do you expect? Um,
it's a simple rivalry. I understand.
as I do love my brother though. And just my parents constantly like playing theater songs and having me go see them. We saw Wicked. I've seen Six twice. I've seen Lion King was like an epiphany moment for me. Like I loved
Ah, yes. Love
oh
Lion King.
the
I, s-
puppetry.
I
Like
saw that. I saw that twice. Lion King when I was a kid, and then when I was an adult, when it came back a couple years ago.
mhm.
It was so freak. I love Lion King.
Amazing. And I grew up because I grew up on Disney. I grew like my parents would be
Sorry.
playing, like they would be playing like the only thing while we were in Florida and then moving into here on the TV
Mm,
would be anything Disney. So that still included like musical esque songs. And growing
yes,
up on that,
nice.
it's like I loved it. I loved the upbeat music. I like just and I will forever be thankful to my parents for getting me into this. Like, no doubt they are the push factor of getting me into it.
Hmm.
But my friends are the ones who carry me through. They're the ones who are constantly casting me in things, although half the time I don't think I deserve them. They're going to yell at me later for this. Once this comes out, they're going to yell at me. They're going to be like, "You deserve this." Go, no, I don't. You cast me as Eric. You cast me as I was casted as like a gender bent version of Jared Hansen, so I played Jared, and but it's Jen, which is very interesting. I've played a dozen plus characters, although I Lin Manuel Miranda have those things, which means I direct and I steal a part. Um, but my parents were the huge push factor, and I'm forever thankful to them to constantly giving me the gift of love of theater and for giving me the gift of tickets to go see it. Like we saw Hadestown this year, and then my parent, or
Mm,
last year, it was the last show, um,
yeah.
before 2024 started, and 2024, 2025
It's fine, yeah.
started. Um, and then they got me into the love of just they got me into what was it? Death Becomes Her. Got me two tickets. My mom and I saw the Thanksgiving Day parade, and my mom and I are just raving about the costumes. They're beautiful, and the actress I forgot her name, but oh my god, she's a powerhouse voice. Love her. And I immediately fell in love. And then my mom told me that the minute that she saw my eyes light up, and it makes me cry talking about it because I love my mom for this. She goes, the minute I
Mhm.
saw your eyes light up was the minute I knew I was buying those tickets. And she bought me two tickets and said I get to choose anybody whoever I want to go see the show with. And so I'm messaging family in other states, and uh, none of them could come, which was understandable. It was very like technically last minute.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I ended up going to see it with my best friend since first grade. My best friend Emma, who's also a theater kid, she was the one who told me to go out for male roles and female roles that were not in my range 100%. She's like, "Oh no, you're a soprano," and I'm like, "Are you sure? I feel like I'm a tenor." She goes, "No, no, no, you're a soprano." Like, okay. But yeah, no, it's my parents, and they definitely had a driving factor for my love in theater.
Heck yeah. Okay. Off topic for a split second.
Oh yeah.
Your top two favorite Disney movies.
Oh, damn. Oh, this is hard. Top two. I've got to
Yeah.
say, my number one will always be Princess and the Frog. It
Oh, nice one.
is.
That's a good one. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a
I've
good
got
one.
so many reasons. I could name like I have like 4 hours worth of reasons, but I would never do that to anybody. One
We'll do that on another episode, all about Disney episode. We'll do that on another episode.
loves Princess and the Frog. And then Newsies. Newsies
Music. What
is
was that one? That sounds familiar.
it's
What
got
was
like
that
the
one?
Newsboy Union. It's got like no, it's the time to seize the day.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Or Santa
Okay.
Fe
Yeah.
is the
Okay.
biggest one. Um,
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
the I like the movie version. I was kind of I technically was born with the movie version, but they did a pro shot of the 2012 musical, and
Mm,
I just oh my god it. I did not know it existed till my it was my dad's coworker, so it's a family friend of ours. His daughter ended up playing Catherine, and her music teacher talked to me, and she was like, have you ever seen Newsies? I'm like, no. And she was like, oh, you'd love it. And at the time it was on Netflix. Disney Plus didn't really exist. And this
yeah,
was
because Disney Plus didn't come to 2019.
yeah, it was during COVID.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I watched it and I just immediately fell in love. I was like, Jack Kelly is who like, okay, maybe not aspired to be, but his actor, Jeremy Jordan. I
Mm.
understand people say he's overrated, but come on, he's got a powerhouse voice. It's so good. Um, and the actor who plays as Davy, I don't remember his name, but he does. I watched the behind the scenes of the actor who plays him, and that made me fall in love with the movie even more. But those are my top two like Disney movies. It has to be Princess and the Frog. Always stays number one. I will never
Wow,
change that answer.
that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I think my top two. One of them is definitely the Goofy movie.
Oh, that's a good
The
one.
Goofy movie. And technically Toy Story, but that's Pixar. But since Disney owns Pixar now, so I kind of added that to my top two. So I was like
There we go.
Toy Story. But if I have a top five, it'd be um, Goofy movie, Toy Story, Princess and the Frog,
Mhm.
Aladdin, Lion
Oh, that's a
King,
good one.
and Lion King. Yeah.
Talking live action Aladdin or like the original what we were born with Aladdin.
The original.
There we go. I was gonna say
The
there's a wrong
original.
and no I'm kidding. I
I
yes.
love. Well, I still love both though, because
Mm,
they're both different. That's why I
yeah.
still love them both. Like I still love Robin Williams. Don't get me wrong. He's still the amazing genie. Rest his soul. Still my growing up on Robin Williams. He always made me laugh. Made my day so much better.
What
From
was the
Aladdin to um Night in Museum, where he played
mm-hmm.
the I call him a cowboy. I forgot what exactly he was. Like,
Roosevelt.
yeah, thank you, Roosevelt. I always call him a cowboy every time I see that movie. I'm like, cowboy,
Like
what is
what?
your name?
The
Wait,
accent.
oh, you're the president, Roosevelt. Oh,
Mrs. Doubtfire
Mr.
was
Doc,
oh my
yes,
god.
Doc,
My
yes.
dad that
Oh
was
my
the first
God,
song he would put my dad would randomly be singing Nana Nana
yeah,
dude looks like a lady and I'm like don't even know where it's from and my dad didn't even
Mr.
know
Doubtfire.
us
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
we're just laughing us off and it's I think it's what got me into rock is because of my dad just immediately just starting singing that song or I want to rock I was like I want to rock and roll all night and party every day but it's my dad ended up showing us that movie, and he just Robin Williams is amazing, and he's definitely like Aladdin's like my right there like top five. Aladdin stays there because of Robin Williams.
Heck yeah, I freaking love Live with the Passion.
Hmm
Now we're gonna shift gears a bit. You mentioned cooking. Like,
Yes.
what made you get into cooking? Like,
Oh
was cooking like a plan B if your theater career didn't take off, or
yeah,
vice versa, or something?
it was vice versa. Actually, the very
Oh,
first show, I was obsessed with Food Network. Like
mm.
I was also obsessed with my mom's cooking. I'm about to crap on my dad's cooking. I apologize ahead of time. But I told my parents this eventually. I didn't tell them I was gonna talk about them. My mom's a really good cook. She learned from her mother, and like God rest her soul as well. My
Mm.
mom is a really good cook. When she eventually, like, when they stopped, like, she stopped working late nights, it would normally be my dad. So my dad would be like a dad mom to my brother and I, or we'd have babysitters.
Mhm.
But basically, I started watching the Food Network, and I'd be watching Beat Bobby Flay. I did. Ooh, I got hiccups. The very first one that I ever watched was like a barbecue cook off. Like, I don't think the show
Mm.
exists anymore,
Mm.
but basically what had happened was that this girl, like around my age, maybe a couple years older,
Mm.
injects ribs with a like a pineapple juice mix. And that was like, oh my God. Like, that was like, oh my God, I gotta try. And we had like the grill out in the backyard. I think it was around the time where we had got this house was like a first floor house. It's not like our first floor house.
Mm.
And I had started cooking from there. And then I ended up doing a 2 week, it was called MasterChef Junior Camp. It was competitions left and right almost every day. There was themes to those days, I believe. And we'd have to create like menus, and there'd be judges. We met a couple of them. We met a couple of people from MasterChef and MasterChef Junior. Of course,
Mm.
everybody had to ask them, what is Gordon Ramsay really like? And of course, they say he's a sweetheart. He's not actually that mean like he is in the shows. It's all for show. And I ended
He
up,
really is a sweetheart, though.
yeah,
He
he,
really is a sweetheart.
from the videos I've seen.
Yeah.
And so then going into high school, I had started in theater for 3 weeks, and I realized that I love my school. I promise I love my high school. Um, I felt like the teachers were casting the younger kids who had older siblings in the classes. Like,
Mm.
they know them. They believe they're a good singer. No, a lot of them were really good singers. They are.
Mm.
Um, and I just felt like it was unfair. So I quit and I moved to culinary with an amazing teacher named, we call him Chef Love, and he had taught me so much in the 4 years that I did it. It was the last 2 years I did it was very competitive to get into those classes. They had
Mm.
less people, and they said if you were very very serious about this, then yes, you can move on to this class, or else you're doing a different elective. I got in those last 2 years, and I got to learn how to make cookies and cakes and pies. And I think we learned how to make duck one time. We tried raw oysters with Tabasco sauce and lemon, and that made me fall in love with it even more. So
Mm.
then college starts, and I was somewhere else, and I moved back,
Mm.
um and I loved it. I loved cooking. I started cooking for my family. I would get paid around $20 a day, depending on how many days I was cooking. Recently,
Mm.
when I was $25, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh, I want to try baking.
Mm.
Let's try making cookies or cakes or pies." And I just kind of started looking at recipes and experimenting, and I realized I want to start a business. Just randomly out of the blue, like I think it was 2020. Ooh, yeah, it's been 2 years. So 2023, November 2023. I go straight up to my dad and I said, Dad, I want to start a business. And my dad goes, okay, what do you need to do to start a business? And I go, okay, I need these ingredients, this, and this. And I started trying like maybe 3 or 4 different cookies, maybe five, and sending them to friends and family and getting their opinions on it. I also was trying to learn shipping, which is very hard to ship cookies fresh if I'm still learning. Um,
Yeah.
and I ended up just
Yeah.
falling.
Shipping food. Period. That's a very tricky situation.
It's scary. It is making sure that it's fresh, making sure nothing's going
Yeah.
stale. Um, and
Yeah.
I just was
Especially
like,
finding the shipping partner that would take care of it too. That's the other thing.
yes. And
Yeah.
so, like, my dad goes, okay, we're gonna spend $500 at Restaurant Depot, and we got every possible ingredient we needed: vanilla, vanilla extract, lemon extract, red food dye, yellow food dye, because I was doing lemon cookies and red velvet cookies. Um, and I was learning how to make like thumbprint cookies with jam filled in it. Those don't ship that well anymore, so I just make them at home if my parents want me to.
Mm.
Um, and my parents were like, "Okay, you have to pay us back by the end of the year, or by next year." which I ended up being able to do when my parents. This is the biggest order I've ever gotten.
Mm,
Was 300 and this is around that December. 360 cookies. They
mm,
needed. I'm trying to think how many. 30 dozen cookies. I'm trying to think. I can't do math. But 360. Yeah, it might have been 30 dozen because three times. Yeah, it was
mm,
around that 30 dozen.
mm,
And it took me 2 days to make, and they all wanted the same kind of cookie. They wanted chocolate chip cookies. Even though I'd already had a menu and I asked my parents to ask for a variety because I was trying to experiment with the varieties. They're like, no, we want one kind. So I made within 2 days, I made 360 cookies, and I was gosh darn proud of it. I was very
mm,
shocked about it that I took me that long to do it. But it again, I'm doing this out of my home, so I don't
mm,
have
mm,
an actual bakery where I have 3 or 4 ovens running at the same time, and I'm still learning how to convert up to higher quantities so I can make more.
mm.
I ended up actually baking a bunch like yesterday.
Oh, nice,
I have
nice.
snickerdoodles and my own version of monster cookies, some butter cookies because I wanted to experiment. Um, and
Experimenting's always fun. I get that from my mom.
it is amazing. But yeah, my mom was cooking. My mom's cooking is what got me into cooking. My dad was what inspired me to start cooking for my family. My dad had made
Mm,
2 meals that really pushed the limits of oof. It was we called it a white meal, which was just going to the freezer and finding anything you possibly can, and there was no seasoning whatsoever. I think but salt and pepper. It wasn't
mm.
even. I love my dad. He's just better as an architect. I'm proud of him for his work. And I think he realized it. He also doesn't take criticism very well with cooking versus my mom and I. And now I have a whole shelf of cookbooks that I still have not finished looking through and making things from. Like I've got maybe 50 or so. I'm probably exaggerating. Um, Cookbooks. Somewhere from my grandma, my nana, my mom, gifts from friends in the past.
Wow.
Somewhere from like I've printed out recipes from Katie and some from my friends, from other friends because Katie's also a friend. I can't just say from Katie as if she's not a friend. She is a friend. She's a really good friend. I've got there's a lot. Like I don't use my phone anymore for recipes. I just kind of
Mm,
say screw the phone, push it away, and I
mm,
use the books. Like I went to Greece and I begged my parents to let me buy one cookbook from Greece because they are very healthy over there, and I wanted to bring that over here and try that cooking there. But and my dad bought me one and I bought one, and I've been just cooking, and it's a lot of fun. It's something where this is my career path. This is what I wanted to do. I never expected to have a business or do a business. Like I'm rebranding my business right now. I rebranded my Instagram yesterday. I still have to do the new cover art for it because the cover art was made by somebody who I'm no longer friends with. Um,
mm.
I rebranded it to Augie's Pastry Paradise because I'm doing more than that. I'm making cakes. I made a cake for my mom's birthday. I can't talk about my dad's birthday because then if I show him this, he's gonna know something.
Ah. Got it.
I started experimenting with different cookies. These look like snickerdoodles. They are not snickerdoodles. They are butter cookie, which uses it's not a sugar cookie dough. It is
Okay.
well, it technically is. It's butter, sugar, egg, one egg, shockingly. Um, and basically my parents are the ones who started me on this. And then I started sending them to you guys, and you guys were like, "These are amazing. You've got to keep the business going." And now I'm 2 years strong, and I'm about to like later, probably a couple hours after this, I'm gonna post to my Insta making like I'm making cookies again. I've got friends from my own work. My summer job. I worked at a camp, and I've got my friends who are wanting to order. Like I've got my somebody who I really care about, my best friend Marcus. He's asking for a cookie. He comes. He's my guinea pig. I'll ask him like maybe once a week to come over. Um, and I'll be like, "Hey, I'm making these cookies. Can you be my guinea pig?" And Marcus is like on top of it. He's like, "Yeah, sure." I love him. I love him and appreciate it for it. Him for it. I got my best friend Emma, who been friends with her since first grade. She's coming over Monday, and we're gonna bake some cookies. Although I
Oh,
don't
baking party.
bacon party.
Baking party. Nice.
I should start. That sounds like fun though. A baking party. Um, and I'll probably like later tonight when my parents come home, I'll probably end up buying more ingredients for tomorrow. Um,
Nice. Awesome.
and yeah, no, this was something where it was people told me it was only a hobby, and I proved them wrong. I
Mm,
now have a business, and I've got friends buying, family buying. I'm making cookies for my granddad in 2 weeks. We're going to visit him. And
beautiful.
I'm gonna make some chocolate chip cookies, and I don't care if I get paid for it, but if I do, I get paid for it.
Heck yeah, that's freaking amazing. So how do you like balance your passion between baking and writing?
It is very hard. It is. I
Because
think
it's two different industries, so it's very
it's
interesting to see.
yeah, it's two very very different industries. With
Oh yeah.
writing, it unless you combine it with making a cookbook, which I
True,
eventually
true. Hey,
really really want to do. I really want to make a
awesome.
cookbook from again. My chocolate chip cookie recipes are a doctored version of Toll House cookie recipes. I
Okay,
add
okay.
cinnamon and espresso powder.
The
But I still
espresso powder, interesting. I've never heard that before.
add espresso powder. I did that last year. I regret it because somebody stole 5 cookies from my job. I will call them out on it. I won't name
Oh my
names.
God.
Whoever sees this later from my job, they'll know who I'm talking
Mm,
about. Uh,
right.
Marcus will know I'm especially talking about. Um, we'll call you out in the comments. No, but my mom had used to make chocolate chip cookies, and she'd add espresso powder, and we loved it. It just adds more flavor. Um,
So it's like a sweetener.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very hard to balance. It'll be depending on my mood. If I'm like, especially with work, if I was
Mm,
very stressed out on a day from working with kids, um, I immediately go, I want to bake because I call it stress baking. It helps me to de-stress. I know what I'm making. I know how to do it. I know the measurements in my brain by now.
mm.
Like I don't need the bag.
Like
And
so it's kind of like your therapy in a way.
yeah, it's my therapy, but writing is also a therapy for me.
Mm,
But that one was one where had I don't know how to word it, but I disappointed myself because I was like, I love writing, but here I am trying to balance writing and cooking, but I can't do both because that's where my mind goes. It's black or white. It's
okay.
not a gray area. So I either do either or, but I'm slowly learning. Like within this past week, I started writing. I wrote yesterday, and I baked, I believe, yesterday too. Yeah, this
Mm,
was yesterday. Um, and that is the very first time where I was like, oh my God, I accomplished 2 things I wanted to do in one day. And
mm.
it was, it made me, I was like, oh my God, like it's,
Yeah.
it's a learning process, but it's something where I'm like, I could do this. I could eventually write a cookbook, and I want to write a cookbook either based off of my original characters that I write and what they would want in their meals and their drinks, and like I do mocktails and cocktails. I love like the creative side of cooking, but I also like the writing. So if this is something where I want to do in the future, that's probably the best way for me to balance it is by writing a cookbook, which takes a lot of time.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Being creative takes a lot of time, period. As a person that has four companies, I understand completely. Yeah, like with me, writing is my therapy. I told you my story, how I used to hate writing with the
Yeah.
passion. And how like I found out that I had a gift in writing when I was in high school, like my ninth grade year of high school, writing my first African American history paper. My teacher telling me that I have a very great strength in writing. He wanted to push me up to another level. I was like, I'm good at writing. I freaking hate writing. Like what? Like, but one of the big lessons my mom taught me is that when you think about it, the thing you hate the most, you're actually really good at. And I freaking hate to write it with a passion. Turns out I'm good at it. I'm like, damn it, mom is right. Ah.
Mothers are always right. My
And
mom's gonna be happy to hear that.
and even same thing with cooking. My mom was always getting me and my sister in the kitchen with her because she wants us to be independent and learn cooking ourselves, so we don't have to depend on somebody else. Of course, I was hesitant because I was very nonchalant about it. Um,
Yeah.
but then, but the past 2 years, I've been getting more into learning about cooking and everything. I love cooking chicken or any type of meat, really. I love I realized cooking really is a therapy too. So I kind of found like a different outlet, or if I'm like overwhelmed or something, I try to transition to something else to take my mind off this. There's also like especially to mental health and stuff. You know, how a lot of people can get overwhelmed very quickly,
Yeah.
and with me, I grew up growing up. I had like so much anger, and because I was just very confused. I don't know who the hell I was, or I'm like, what's the purpose of me on this earth? Like, what am I supposed to
Yeah.
do? And I was like, especially growing up with being the only male in my house my entire life, I was I was just pissed every day. Anger issues. I'm like, my biological father is a dickhead,
Hmm.
deadbeat, and I blame my mom for everything until I found out the truth. My mom said that she didn't want to have a son, so I took that the wrong way.
Hmm.
Until I got old enough, she explained it to me. She said I didn't want to have a son with that man because she was terrified of raising me, thinking that I'm going to end up like him or worse. I'm just like, fuck. But I'm like, and so I had so much guilt. I had to apologize to her and beg for her forgiveness. And she's always stayed calm with me. She said, You don't have to keep asking for forgiveness. It's not your fault. You just didn't know, and you just didn't ask the question of what I meant." So that's true. That's also why I'm truly guilty and I'm apologizing. Um, and so yeah, that's why I'm kind of like a big mental health advocate a lot lately. Uh, that's that's also I fell in love with writing because my mom's a writer,
Hmm.
and I read her murder mystery book that she hasn't published yet, and I could not
Oh,
put
it's
that book
murder mystery. I
down.
love murder mysteries.
I did too, and I could not put that book down for the life of me, and that kind of sparked my fire too, because I'm like, and then I fell in love with horror, I fell in love with fantasy. I was like growing up on Disney, growing up on Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Teenage Mutant Ninja
Ninja
Turtles,
Turtles. It's very hard what to say.
uh,
Yeah, that comes fast.
even Power Rangers, Transformers, hell, Vampire Diaries, Supernatural, Arrow, Flash, so
Look
many
at
different
stuff.
things. I'm like, and the Marvel shows and movies. I didn't even know they were comics. I didn't even grow up on comics.
I
It's
know.
and and it's funny. And I became now I'm a comic author myself because I started reading comics around 2020 because it was COVID, so we had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I was like, plus I'm an introvert, so I was kind of used to it anyway. I'm like, I was isolated before COVID happened, so
Hmm.
I didn't go out
And that.
anyway. So that's I kind of started falling in love with comics when I learned about independent comics. That's where I learned about like comics like Ace Blade. That's when I learned about Dark Horse Comics, Image, IDW, Dynamite. I was like, where the hell all these companies coming from? Jesus Christ! And I found out about comic shops, and so I literally have a shelf of different types of comics now. I was like, I am in my, I'm like, this is my purpose. It's being a nerd and just making a career out of it. That's literally me. My purpose being a nerd.
Hmm.
And I'm not, I love being called a nerd because I am a full-fledged nerd. Like, come on.
Hmm.
And then also going back to therapy. My writing is my therapy because if I'm angry, I write a horror story and just kill people off.
Yeah. Well, on that. Preach. So I
uh,
do the same thing. Like,
yeah, and like especially I was bullied my entire life from elementary school to high
mm,
school. So writing, I kind of imagined those abilities. Of course, I didn't put the actual name in the story, but I know
Yeah.
I'm writing about, obviously. And so I write about monsters because I love Alien, Stranger Things, Predator. I don't know if you know the show Teen Wolf, um, and so many different.
Mhm.
I watch a lot of stuff basically. And then my sister introduced me to the Adams Family. I fell in love with that. Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's how I became a fan of Tim Burton.
Oh
And
yeah.
looking at how his imagination is, and like how weird and creepy and beautiful, and the message behind his creepiness, it just hits home, like
It
for me,
does.
if that makes sense.
No, it
Like I fell in love, hell, with Beetlejuice. I freaking love Beetlejuice.
was so good.
Um, so all these different things, I kind of just got my imagination built off that,
Mhm.
and so and I knew all my life I always wanted to like be an inspiration to people, but I never knew how, or like never knew like what's the process of like inspiring somebody to do like to be who you are basically,
Mhm.
because I didn't know who the hell I was, like I said. But I knew in my heart I wanted to be there for people and
Mhm.
help the best way I can. And if you're comfortable enough, like what's your experience like mental
Yeah.
health, and especially dealing with theater, with
Yeah.
cooking, with work, with life in general, like what's like your mental health experience, if you're comfortable talking
I
about
am.
it.
Don't worry. Especially
So
if it
this
helps.
is I want guy to the audience, this is a safe space. I
Yeah.
want to innovate, this is a safe space. You can talk about however you want to talk about anything you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ooh, mental health.
And also, sorry,
No, you're
what
fine.
this is also kind of like my social work background because I have associates in human services. So
Mhm.
also that's also I kind of why I started this podcast, like to give people a voice that
Yeah.
they want to speak on whatever they want to speak on. So
Yeah. All right. I so the biggest thing was I'm adopted. So my that was the very first thing where I didn't know I was. Well, maybe I was in elementary school. And a lot of the kids would not make fun of it, but they'd be like, "You're not adopted," or they kind of mock it, and they'd be like, "You're not," like somebody who told me you're not adopted and pinched me, and my mom was standing right next to it, and she literally looked straight at him. It was like on a I was like on a field trip. She turns around, she goes, "She is adopted." So what? Like she literally snapped back at the kid, and I love
mm,
my mom for it. And that, like, I never make my personality based off of my adoption story because my
mm,
adoption story is very, um, that adoption story kind of it was went in waves with my mental health. Um,
mm,
I was diagnosed with ADHD back when I was like in second grade. So ADHD
mm,
is like, oh no, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So I'm
mm,
very all over the place. My brain goes a million miles a second. I'll go like, oh, shiny. And like, I'll get very distracted, which is why I apologize ahead of time before the podcast started. If my dog starts barking, he's in the cage right now for this. If he starts barking, I apologize ahead of time. Because then that'll distract me and I'll get to deal with him. And I had a very hard time making friends. Like elementary
mm,
school, it was, do you want to be my friend? And a lot of them would say like, oh, no. And I had like a couple and some I'm no longer friends with, but I still appreciate the friendships I had.
mm,
I'm still friends with two of them, Emma and my friend goes by Kolya now, so I'll call them Kolya out of respect. Um, and because I love them. And I'm still friends with them to this day. But middle school got much worse. I
mm,
was trying to figure myself out. I almost like you, I had no idea who I was in middle school. It was a new change. It was all four schools coming in at the same time, and I was
wait,
a
all four schools?
there's four schools. We have four schools in our district. Um,
Jesus. Okay.
yeah, so it's four schools going into one middle school. My middle school is like a 30-minute walk away, which wasn't too
Okay.
bad unless you're in the cold. Um,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it gets real cold out there.
Yeah, it does.
You're in New York, right?
Yeah, New York.
Oh yeah, y'all stay cold. Oh my
The
God,
weather is yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, basically, I went from a very extroverted person to like an ambivert introvert. Like I was ambiverted for the most part, but I also didn't want to talk to many people. Like I
Mm,
would rather focus on school and participate in my classes, and like I wanted to make my parents proud. Like that is something where I still want to make them proud to this day. And
mm.
I was having a lot of trouble in middle school. I was not doing good in math. Like I was learning statistics in 6th grade and I sucked ass at it. I
Hard.
hated
I hate statistics.
I hated
Jesus.
statistics. I hated she doesn't know me now anymore. I don't think she'll ever see this, so I'm gonna voice this. I did not like my social studies teacher. She had my babysitter when my babysitter was younger, and she loved my babysitter, and she'd compare us sometimes. Her name fit her for the most part. I did like my math teacher, even though we learned statistics. I loved English. I loved and then 7th grade, 6th grade, going between 6th grade and 7th grade was really hard. I has a guy told me he liked me, and I was like, okay, this is like very new to me. I knew I was too young to date. My parents voiced this. I was not allowed to date till I was like 18. Um, and he had there were things that I thought were normal or not, which was abuse. It was hitting me in the back of the head with a water bottle. It was hitting me in the front, like it was a lot. It was pinching me, like they did, like they call it like the rug burn and the Japanese rug burn
Mm,
or something like that. He
yep.
would do that, and it it was not fun. I dealt with that for all of middle school into halfway through 9th grade, and I had a friend who ended up siding with him. We're no longer friends. She's a homophobic asshole. Who
Mm,
funny enough followed me on my Insta when like my name changed like 2.5, 3 years ago, maybe longer now. And then she
okay.
unfollowed me, and I was like, I want nothing to do with you anyways.
Right.
But I had hoped that I would learn from that experience of at that around the time I also was figuring out my sexuality. So that was a very rough time because I told him, I said, I don't want to be with you anymore. And at this time I was getting to know his sister is such a sweetheart. Like no joke. She was the best person I could talk to about this because she knows her brother, and I
Right.
knew his situation, but that doesn't excuse his actions.
Right.
And
Exactly.
he, she one day she had seen me, and because I like just broken up with him, I told him I liked
Okay.
girls because that was true at the time. I came out as bisexual, but I liked girls more than guys. I was falling for my best friend. Um, and like it's the best friend that she and I are no longer friends with. I'm no longer friends with because she sided
Oh
with
man.
me. And I one day like it was like it was the worst timing that I did this because it was right after the MLK assembly, and
Oh wow.
broke up
Okay.
with him, and I said, I can't do this anymore. This isn't normal. And a couple weeks later, he told me to kill myself. And I didn't know because it says KYS in short, which I showed my friends, and I had no idea what this was.
Oh my God.
Again, I'm very naive. I we the school did nothing. The school did not help at all. I had a school psychologist who asked me if I liked the drama, if like I liked starting,
What?
and I was like, no, bitch. I'm like, and I wasn't cursing as a middle schooler, but nowadays I would have been like, please, like, no, I hate drama. I hate the attention that I give myself.
But
Like,
that was legit verbal abuse, and they did nothing.
yeah, the high school helped as best as they could, but it was my parents and my ex's sister who did the most work. My ex's sister saw me in gym, and my gym teacher had asked me, and he was such an amazing gym teacher. I will forever be grateful to him. He asked me if I was okay, and my face turned white as a ghost. Like I'm already
Mm.
look as white as Casper the Ghost over here, but I was whiter than that. Like I was turning translucent at that point. And
Oh my
my sister
gosh.
had seen me and she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, like your brother is doing this to me after I've broken up with him. And she's like, I didn't even know he was dating anyone. I'm like, okay, cool. Or no, she knew we were dating at that point, or that we just broken up. She knew we were dating.
Okay. Okay.
She helped me out. My parents helped me out, and then my ex best friend had told me over the text. It was a Wednesday. It was during a storm. We can no longer hug because I don't want the guy that I like to believe that I am gay. And I'm like, cool. I at the time, I for me now I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Like that's your problem, not mine. Um,
I don't. I'm sorry. I keep don't want to hug. I'm
because
sorry. Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I
What?
don't. That makes me laugh. I don't want the guy that I like to see me hugging you to think that I'm gay. And I'm like, is it a problem if I am gay? No. But you made it a problem apparently for yourself because you want this guy that you
I'm
like
sorry.
you back.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to process that logic.
What makes it funnier is the guy was popular, very popular guy. Like she had this logic in her head that she would rather be popular and have a lot of friends versus me who wanted to rather be an introvert, or at least as introverted as I was at the time, and have a couple friends that would stick with me through the years to come because of my personality, not because I'm popular. Like I don't get the concept of wanting to be popular. Like I don't know. It was a weird logic and concept that she had. She
Yeah.
didn't want the guy that she likes
I
to
never
say.
understood that in high school or any school at all, or people want to be so popular and
Yeah,
stuff. I'm like, y'all do realize this is temporary,
it
right?
was funny, and I was not in. I was literally president of a geek club. I was a nerd. I was considered not fitting into any group, which I didn't care about. I had like maybe two or three friends that I was still friends with since elementary school, and I needed that. She ended up blaming me for the fact that she was about to go to an all girls school, which, by the way, that school is a really good school. I was a CIT for a camp there, and it was an all girls camp.
What's the
Very
CIT?
sweet, very kind. The school is very good.
What's the
Um,
CIT?
Counselor in training.
Okay.
This is before COVID, definitely.
Okay.
This is right before COVID had started, and
Oh, okay.
my parents had seen her text to me because she was treating my best friend like a possession, saying, "You could have her." I'm like, "She's not a possession. You call her your best friend, but you're like you just toss her aside like she is nothing." But she is the most supportive and sweetest best friend I've ever, like real like friend that I've had in real life that still have
Yeah.
to say. The fuck? And so my parents saw it. They called her mother. Her mother yelled at her for getting mad at me. And she and I, I'm like, we're no longer friends, anyways. And I just think it's funny. And then I go off to college. I had done a summer program at that college for around maybe a couple weeks. So I was in Florida. I was very far from New York, and
Nice,
I
nice, nice.
was very nervous. But I ended up becoming really, really, really good friends with maybe like four people, and I'm still
Wow.
friends with them.
Wow. So you went to college in Florida.
I went to college in Florida. That was my first year. I went to college in Beacon College, which is why I'm like, I don't want to name them because they're really shit college sometimes.
Oh, snap.
Um,
Okay.
well, what had happened was I did a summer program there, and I got into this program called the Imaginations program, which was you're
Okay.
learning about the behind the scenes of Disney and everything.
I knew
And
that sounded familiar. I knew that sounded familiar. Okay.
it was
Okay.
I became friends with an amazing person who's like me named Evan, who's such a sweetheart, and I'll probably end up sending them this because I want my friends to see that I'm proud of them. And
Yeah,
him,
yeah. Let's shout them out.
my friend Parker, I became friends with Gabe. There was Leah, Emily, who I don't know what happened with her. I miss her. Um,
Mm.
we haven't talked in that group chat in a long time. I'm about to message them later. Just remind
Gotcha,
they were
gotcha,
an
gotcha.
amazing group. I had came out as um I think I have a video in on my laptop of me coming out to my
Mhm.
friends, and I came out to the whole program. I forgot by singing "I Kissed a Girl," and that was my. I made it my mantra. I made it
Is that the
my
song by Katy Perry?
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I
um,
mean, I know that title. I was like, is that Katy
I
Perry? Okay, okay.
that was
Sorry, I
my
didn't mean to cut
coming
you
out
off. I'm sorry.
song. No, you're good. That was my coming out song, and everybody was very proud of me. They were a very supportive community. Very, a lot of them were also part of the LGBTQ community, so that was just 10 times funnier, and more amazing.
But I
And
gotta ask one thing.
um,
I gotta ask one thing.
yeah,
Did you dance? Because that song is very catchy.
I did. I was dancing and singing along. I was belting my ass off.
That song
I
is
was.
very catchy.
Everybody was having the time of their lives, and I got a really big hug from all my friends and some people who I didn't fully talk to,
Hmm.
for coming out because it's something that I knew I needed to do and knew that I wanted to do before I left. And my friends, because this is my way of saying like, this is your way of knowing me and the actual me. So
Hmm.
I come home and I immediately go to my parents. I'm like, I want to go here. I want to go here. Like this is, oh my god. Like I love this college. Like I'm like ready. I was like, my friends are gonna be here. A couple of my friends
Right.
from the company from the they're just gonna be there, and I really really wanted to go. My parents are like, "Are you sure?" And I'm gonna say this: I half regret it. A, because I could have gone to a culinary college, but it was also very expensive. But this college was also
Hmm.
for people who are neurodivergent, so that's why I really wanted to go. But
Hmm.
the reason why I half regret it is because there's a lot of people who like to take. I'm really good friends with a couple people. Like I'm really good friends with. I got Riley, who I still. Oh, I got burps and hiccups. My best friend Riley, who I still talk to. She's very supportive and like she got me into like have these LGBTQ shows that I watch now. My friend Lila, who I go to conventions with, maybe I've gone for 3 years. I couldn't go this year. Thankfully, we didn't because we would have gotten rained down on by a pipe burst.
Pipe
Um,
burst. Oh my
there's a
God.
pipe burst that
Jesus.
burst in Artist Alley, which is where my friend and I hang out a lot during conventions.
Oh God.
I'm still really good friends with. Oh, is that just two of them? Oh no, Caroline. Such a sweetheart. Very very sweet. Very kind.
Heck
And
yeah.
there was a lot that went down at Beacon. Like it was like I feel I'm not trying to like they were great. They were a really great college. I
Mm.
got to go to Disney for free with them and hung out in Magic Kingdom for a full day, which was
I love that park. Yeah. Sorry.
beyond crazy.
Sorry.
And I was like beyond ecstatic. There was just a couple
Beautiful.
people that really fucked up my mental health. I had someone
Mm.
who I was dating when we start like we my first kiss was under the like I don't call it a first kiss anymore. But my first kiss was under the fireworks during Happily Ever After at Disney
Oh
with
wow.
a guy that was my friend had introduced us to each other.
Okay.
And this was like after I broken up with my ex-girlfriend and like a couple months after. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to get back in. Like I'm gonna try with a guy because it's been years. And he ended up breaking up with me like maybe a week later because of the girl best friend that he was talking to had told him to because she didn't like me. And I was like, hey, yo, chill. Okay. Um,
Like
and I think
Jesus. Okay.
it's funny now.
Rude. Uh,
Um, and then around that time, I had applied to be in the Disney College program, and I did not expect to get in because I have asked my answers, but they'll never know. Um, I did honestly answer them honestly as much as possible. Um, and I ended up getting into the program, and I'm like freaking out because I loved Disney since I was like a little kid, wanted to work with them for years, and I was so ready. I was ready to just kind of take my life away from New York and move down to Disney for a year, and that was the worst decision I had made in my entire life. Now, going to the parks is great, but
mm.
my mental health was so bad at that point that, or it was good at the very beginning, and I had like a lot of friends that I made, or I had like met 11 people and we ended up going out to dinner together on like the first day. And we all disbanded. I ended up confessing my feelings to two of them, which was very awkward. And they don't message me back. It's very awkward. I had somebody tell me that I should have been fired from the beginning. And my roommates didn't treat me that well. I was drinking,
Mhm.
smoked. It was really bad. And it had gotten to the point where I needed an organizational coach and a therapist while I was in Florida, all the way from New York. And
Dang.
I never told them this. I ended up telling my parents when I came back that a lot of what my friends were saying and how the program was treating me made me want to off myself because I was really bad, and it just, their
Mm.
accommodations for people like me were not good. I was also at the time
Mhm.
trying to get an autism diagnosis, and I couldn't do online theater anymore. So, and even like in their contracts for Disney, it says anything that you write or work on is now their property. So everything that I was working on at that time, I was working on musicals and movies and TV shows,
Bruh.
books, all that had to be thrown away until I came back.
Yeah,
And
I hate those contracts. That's
it was,
they legit just steal from these from
yeah,
creative people.
yeah,
I really
and
hate those.
we were taught that um now some people at Disney treated me really well. I
Okay, cool,
is
cool,
I
cool.
promise you that I had a really good my trainers were very, very, very sweet to me. They constantly used they them. They constantly used August, which I was like very like on top of them for. They
It's actually kind of funny. Your name is August, and we're on a podcast in August.
August. Perfect timing.
I didn't even think
Um,
about that. I didn't even think about that when we talk. I'm sorry. That's just funny to me.
I
But
think
you're
about that
August in
tomorrow.
August. That's
Um,
hilarious. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Disney, I had a really good my final week there.
Mhm.
I was planning on terming anyways because I wanted to go home. My parents had dealt with a hurricane while I was in Florida.
A
And
hurricane?
yeah, it was, I forgot it
Oh
was,
my god.
forgot which hurricane it was. My dad was very, it had pushed the BMW into something he thought was a puddle, but it was a big dent, like water dent. And he got the BMW convertible destroyed. He's gonna really hate me for saying this on the air. He hates when I tell. I'm not supposed to tell the story because I didn't live it, but my parents tell me. My mom and my brother tell me the story every year.
Oh
Um,
man. Got
but
it.
I was
Okay.
missing my dog, and I was just missing my family, and
Mm.
I needed to go home. So the final week, I ended. It was like a Wednesday, and I was gonna go into work. I like it's like 8 and 10, no, maybe, yeah, 9, 10 in the morning. I'm getting my like breakfast and lunch ready. Like I ordered ahead, took a very small nap. 4:30 p.m. I feel like I got hit by a truck. I am very sick. I couldn't get out of bed.
Mm.
My new roommate was moving in. And she was the sweetest roommate, like out of the three that I had.
Mm.
She was the best roommate I ever had. She was giving me cups of water, trash bags to throw up in,
Beautiful.
throwing out those trash bags. Like she was like mothering me. Like because I felt so I had no idea if my insurance would work there with the hospitals and everything because I was losing a lot of liquids because of how sick I was, and
Yes.
I'm constantly having to
Oh.
call out really late minute. And one of my bosses, I'm going to use his first initial date. He would message me, "How are you doing? Like, update us." I said, "I'm like, I can't get out of bed. I have no idea if my insurance is going to work. Like, because the college program was an internship, you're not getting the benefits. You're not getting as many
Right.
as the actual cast members are. We are. I was working from 4:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. while my roommates were working so like 11 p.m. And so
Mm. Wow.
I would be getting home later, and they'd get annoyed, but that's just how it happened. And I was really like I was really sick. And so that Sunday I'm going in and I'm about to tell my job that I'm self-terming because I was so
Mm.
sick that I knew that those points were going to add up and they would terminate me anyways. And they said, go see the bosses in the office. And I'm just crying. And because I'm crying because I'm really sick. And I'm being told by my like friend who messages me every half year, um, or an ex friend. I don't know what we are anymore. He won't, I don't know what's going on with it. He told me I was gonna get fired because of how sick I was. I'm like, no, no, I'm done.
How the heck you can get fired for
Okay
being
then.
sick? That's
It was
that's
really,
so trifling.
it was really bad. And they told me that I was gonna get termed, and I said, well, I was coming in to tell you that I'm self-terming. I'm too sick. I can't work anymore. And they were like, okay, so we made a mutual agreement that I was gonna term, and I was, um, it sucked because my mom and my brother had to come down from visiting. I think it was my dad's parents or her parents,
Mm,
to come help me out and get me into a hotel while I was violently ill. And they gave me less than 24 hours to move out, which I lost half my things in that room and in my friends' rooms because I had less than 24 hours to move out. And I will forever be grateful to the opportunity that I got for working for Disney because we're going to the parks for free was a lot of fun.
mhm.
Um, that was the most worth it part because I did do 4 parks in one day, which was very interesting. And then I moved back here,
That is
and
some huge parks to do
it's
for one day.
crazy.
Jeez,
It's crazy.
that's some good. That's some crazy exercise, but it's gonna be tiring as hell.
Very
Be
crazy.
interesting.
So then I moved back here and I go to my community college nearby. Nearby my town, it's like a 30-minute drive without traffic. And I'm like, okay, I need to get my life back together. I'm back home like for a couple months and I go into culinary. I have an amazing female teacher specifying. Sorry to my male teacher, but my female teacher, I loved her. She taught me everything about cooking. She taught me how to make international cuisine. We made like 12 dishes a week.
A
We learned
week?
how to,
That's freaking
yeah, a
amazing.
week. It was
That's freaking
really
amazing. Oh
cool.
my god.
It's 3 to 4 people working on 3 to 4 dishes.
Are you
Uh,
like working together or
no, it was
is it?
four. It was like 12 people, 12
Oh,
dishes.
okay, okay,
But we all help each other out. And
got
then
it. Okay.
um, I realized I hate working in catering. I don't like working in the culinary business, but I like my baking business, which is when it started actually. And so then I moved to performing arts, and my mental health had gotten better.
Good,
It
good.
had gotten better at that point at that time. I became really good friends with a girl named Nicole. She's all the way in Hawaii now. I really, really miss her. She was very introverted, very, very, very shy. Um, you could barely you could barely hear her because like her voice is in a whisper.
Mhm.
And she's the sweetest friend I've ever had. I actually got a message her and be like, hey, what's up? I miss you. Um, and she and I became the
Beautiful,
best of friends very quickly. I became friends with
beautiful.
Jared and John a little bit. I don't. It's been years since we last talked. And then I moved to performing arts, and I became friends with Amara and Tyler, who were very sweet, very kind. And this is around the time I was also officially starting to make appointments for my autism diagnosis.
Mhm.
And I finally get it last year. I believe it was May of last year. Um, and that's around the time I met you guys, you and Katie. You, Katie, Liggy, and I think it was Ricky. I met you four, and I started talking to you guys, and things happened.
Wow, it's only been a year. Hmm.
It's been a year or two. I don't remember.
I
Um,
don't either. I feel like it's been forever. I'm like, it's only
it's
been
been
a year. Hmm.
it's been a while. We've known each other for a long time, and basically, I was
No, we actually met in 2023.
yeah. So around two
It was
years.
like the back half of 2023.
Yeah.
Because I
And
think because I think it was by accident. I think we was in a group together,
mhm.
and we just started talking, and
Well, it's on
yeah, I think
accident.
because I think you found out I was a writer.
Accidents. Yeah,
I think you found out I was a writer.
I think so. It's like, wait, you right? And we were talking and
But
everything.
yeah,
It
and
became
you started asking me questions. I think that's how it began. And
was
I think I
wild.
remember, I was like, you kept apologizing. I'm sorry with so many corrections. I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I was like freaking out because I've never like done anything like this before.
Yeah.
And the like I'm forever happy that we're like we all still stayed in touch after we all left. And
Mm,
I was still friends with going back to my college, I became friends with somebody who I'm once again no longer friends with.
mm,
Because I ended up dealing with somebody who I met over TikTok, and we ended up doing the Disney College program together. I tend to be friends
Wait,
with
what
toxic
program?
people. I swear, Disney College.
Disney
Um,
College. Okay, so, okay, so it's still the same.
we met
It's
over
the same
TikTok,
program.
this
Okay.
girl and I, and I'm not gonna name names because she
Mm,
did some really horrible things to me. She basically took advantage of my niceness and was threatening me. Like she mocked me on TikTok. She went live and was talking bad about me one time. This was after we were no longer friends, and my brother and like my ex friend, and a couple other my friends went after her for it. And I was like, no, don't attack her. Like, no,
oh
get
my
off.
god.
Like, whatever you do, get off. Like, don't like my um this is my war, basically. This is my I need to do this. Like you
Right.
guys away, because I think Katie also joined in, which was funny. She was just watching for the sidelights, eating
Right.
popcorn. No, I love Katie. And basically, the friend had. This was when I was like starting to look for jobs for the summer,
Mm,
and my ex friend she had invited the girl to her graduation party, or and she had called me while I was at orientation for work. I was working for a camp. Um, it's a STEM camp, which I absolutely love. STEM co-op camp, because there are many, not just in my state but in other states. But basically, what had happened was she had called me while I was in orientation, and
mm,
this boy named Alex had seen me like during like orientation. It was last year, and he goes, "Hey, August, you want to come sit with us?" And I was like, "Me? You want me to sit with you? Are you sure you're talking
mm,
to me?" I'm like looking around, making sure there's nobody else. And he's like,
mm,
"Yeah, you like, do you want to come sit with us?" I'm like, "Sure." And I had to deal with like my ex friend for a little bit longer. I said like, "Hey, I'll come sit with you after I get off this call." And I was going off on her about the fact that she wasn't calling her mother back and her mom was worried, etc. And because she couldn't get in touch with her. And I said, "My parents no longer want me to go to your party." She's like, "Okay, well, let me know if you change your mind." I'm like, "It's not my mind you have to change. It's my parents." I'm like, thinking my parents
right.
don't like you. My brother doesn't like you. My brother's got good intuition. And so I go and sit down with them, and Alex immediately, like, he's asking me questions about myself. Like, we're doing icebreakers. And that's where I meet is Alex, Marcus, Parth, Nix, I think it was them four, and then myself.
Mm,
And they saved me. I was still in that really like deep, like my mental health had gone worse again.
mm,
And my therapist couldn't really save me much. My parents didn't know my situation. They knew of it enough, but they didn't know to the extent of how bad it was.
mm,
But those friends had, just like you guys, because you guys were helping me out at the time, they saved me. They got me out of that mental health rut that I was in. And like I will forever tell them this, and they could watch this, and like I'm like telling you this, I'm like telling them this now. They saved me in more ways than one. I
mm,
If they did not ask me to sit down with them, I probably would have been sitting alone, asking myself, who am I and why I am here? But they gave me a purpose to live. They constantly invited me to things. And then I ended up becoming really good friends with a girl named Carla. And Carla's much younger than me. Like, I'm the oldest in the friend group. Carla's a couple years younger than me, and she's very, very sweet, also a little bit introverted, very nervous. Um, and she fit into our friend group really quickly. I just realized I ordered food at 2:45. Whoopsies. I should have ordered for later. And what had happened was we all started talking, and the friend group became bigger. It's now a little bit smaller, but now I'm in two different friend groups. Um, and my first year with camp was a little hard. I was working with first graders. I had no idea what I was doing. A lot of the kids were spoke Spanish, and I was freaking out because I only know English.
Mm.
So, with my assistant counselor Brian, Brian was amazing about it. And he did phenomenal. He helped me out where he could, and then I decided to work for them again this year, and half my friends weren't able to come back, but the rest were, and some were volunteers. Like again, um, Marcus and I hung out like a lot over this summer, and we have that really good friendship dynamic that is keeping my mental health at bay. Like also, I do therapy because I shouldn't take my anger out on anybody. Like I take my anger out pretty quickly. Again, things are black and white for me. And then I also finally got my autism diagnosis. So I was diagnosed with autism around, I think it was a year or two ago. Might have been no, it was last year, because last year I auditioned for the theater company and I ended up getting in.
Mhm.
And those free classes are worth it. Um, they
Heck yeah.
I made really good friends with a lot more people.
Mhm.
And I don't say this just to say this to my friends, but the friends that I made through that old company, which we're not naming names, that company, like if I were still not friends with you or Liggy or Katie or Luca, Jillian, Alyssa, my like a lot of my online theater friends, I've too many to count. I can't name them all. Um, my
That's
friends,
beautiful.
Marcus, Perth, Alex, the new friends I've made, which are Kaylee and Justin and Ash and Sophie, if I were still not friends with them, I would be in a much darker hole. They brought the nerd and the quirkiness out of me. Like I'm a huge nerd. Where like if we're working for like the camp, why are we not calling ourselves like nerds? Like we got to be like proud of it. And
Heck yeah.
y'all like taught me to be proud of myself, and my mental health is like much better now. Like I'm talking to my therapist about how much fun I'm having writing with my friends and baking and showing people
That's
what I'm
freaking
proud of.
dope. Heck yeah.
But yeah, my mental health journey is it'll always be a roller coaster. There's never gonna be one moment where a whole year that my life is perfect, because nobody's life is perfect. That's
Exactly.
just how life was created. We're never gonna be perfect. If you say you're perfect, you're scary. Or you've got to.
If you say you're perfect, you're very naive and cocky. That's really what it is.
Yeah, that's one of my kids said. We asked him, "You're perfect." He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "You know what? You believe that, honey." Um, but with
It's
autism,
like that's like if you enable that, you're making them, you're turning that kid into a
yeah,
cocky
I'm like,
a
"You do
hole
you,
for the
honey." I
future.
said, and we ended up telling him, I'm like, "No,
It's
we're like
like
say nobody's perfect." Um,
yeah, it's like you gotta be careful
uh,
doing that.
yeah, with autism, it people have a stereotype of we can't do things, we can't work, we can't be independent, and I'm over here like I direct shows, I've got my own channel for my shows, I edit for the shows, I think I'm directing like 8 shows right now. I kind of like behind my parents back about it, but then again, it's also what I'm proud of. I'm a part of a theater company in which like one of my friends is was on Broadway. Um, How to Dance in Ohio is no longer on Broadway. Um, I got asked out by somebody, and well, I'm very happy that I did get asked out, because this is the first time in like years I've actually like a year that I've been asked out. And especially by somebody who is non-toxic, like he's the least toxic person that has asked me out. Dating apps suck, people. Just saying ahead of time. Um,
Yeah, don't trust those.
a lot of people are
A
there
lot of those are probably bots too. So
learn the hard way.
yeah,
Um, I again, I have my own business. I'm making cookies for friends, family friends. I was the only like girl, I do quotation marks because I'm still feminine, even though I identify as non-binary, that was on an improv team, and I did a pretty damn good job at it. There's some videos out there, or that my friends have of us. Um, I like there's like I can do what neurotypical people can do.
oh
And
yeah.
one of my campers proved that too. He's just like me. I can't name names due to safety reasons.
Mhm.
Um, but he's just like me, and he won a Create Award. And oh my god, we're goddamn proud of him.
Let's
Um,
go. Heck yes.
crying my eyes out because we had nominated him, and he won, and we were like, like yay! Um,
Heck yeah.
but something where a younger kids just like us, just kids, just in general, kids just like Kate or myself and any of my friends who have autism. And then there's me who was diagnosed at a much later age. We get to prove people wrong. We could do this. We're just as creative as you guys are. There are people who are neurotypical who have their own businesses that have been going strong for more like longer than mine has.
Hmm.
And being able to also advocate for that feels good. Like we get to I get to advocate for their mental health and my mental health, and being able to talk about like what I'd gone through mentally to get up to this point. Like I bet you if none of this happened, I probably would not be here right now. I would be still in Florida. Like if the college went right, if the program went right, I would not be here right now. Like I would still be at the program having the time of my life. Um and I probably would not have came home because that weather is really nice, but it's brutally hot. But
Yeah, it is water. So
all this comes up to now, like everything that happens is for a reason. That's
yep.
what I was taught to believe, and that's what I believe now. Like I'm back home, I'm cooking for my family, I am writing books and fanfics and doing a podcast for the first time and baking cookies, which I haven't eaten yet. I'm making myself hungry, but looking at them, smelling them, I'm gonna put them away. I'm gonna push it away from my where I am right now. I'm in my near my kitchen.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but you know, mental health comes in waves. There'll never be a dull moment in my life where I immediately go to y'all going, y'all, something fucked up happened today. Screw up my mental health. It's called
Oh
I do
yeah.
online theater. No I'm kidding. I love the I love online theater. Writing helps me de-stress. I use a lot of my again like my cooking, my writing. That's where I realized I got to put a lot more of my energy into. I got to put energy into my friends. Like I can't be negative every day as much as my depression wants me to. I am learning to be more positive and give myself more positive encouragement because as much as I love my friends and I hate compliments because I hate the attention I get from it, I'm slowly learning to accept the compliments.
Even though you deserve the compliments.
My friend's gonna yell at me later
And
saying,
speaking of compliments,
"Hey,
by
you
the way,
deserve the compliments."
as I speaking of compliments, I tried her cookies and it's freaking phenomenal. You guys, you need to order from Augie right now, guys. Seriously, she,
I have an Instagram.
man, I had the chocolate chip, I had the lemon, I had the red velvet, I had the what was the other one I had? I
Uh,
tried. Was it a? It wasn't a monster. It was a blue. Was it a blue one?
it was a blue cookie. It was like a
Yeah,
lemon
the
chocolate.
blue powder cookie. I think it was.
Yeah.
Man, when I tell you, I ate that whole box in a day
I
as
have
soon as
the
it came.
picture of them actually. I think this is wait, it might have been it.
Yes, that's the
There
box
you
you
go.
sent me.
I have the pictures of the
Uh,
baking I did. It was red velvet.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. When that box came to my house, I was eating that the entire day.
I guess Simpsons be good.
I was on the sugar rush that I just had a blast with. Like I am I'm advocating for what's your business name again? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
So now, so I have an Insta. I'm with my very last paycheck from work. I've been saving money for this. I'm going to
Mhm.
buy my own domain from Wix so that I'm far away from Wix. I'm officially buying my own domain and rewriting the website like with the new name. It's now called Augie's Pastry Paradise. And
Augie Pastry Paradise.
Augie's Pastry
You need to order her cookies.
Paradise.
Seriously.
The more orders I get, the like I normally what I do is save half, spend half. So like the other half
Mhm.
is like spending it on like the save half is saving for ingredients and because like half the money that I get paid for the cookies goes
Mhm.
into the ingredients. The other half
Mhm.
I'll put into like my savings or keep it in like a Venmo. Like I do like what have I done? Like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle.
I mean, you got Zell too,
I do
right?
too. It's anything, any payment
Uh,
method. I like if somebody nearby me watches this later. I know one of my counselor coworkers are. He's supposed to buy from me at the end of the week and never did. Brian, calling you out. No, kidding. Love him. Love him. I'm sorry, Brian. I felt bad for calling him out, but you know what? Whatever. Um, but yeah, no, with the I mean, the business is going okay. I'm getting a couple orders here and there from mainly me just randomly making them, and then my parents will just buy them off me, so they're not in the house anymore. Uh, nah, I bake in my house, so everything takes. I always tell people I make these on my own schedule for being
Mhm.
a student and doing theater directing.
Mhm.
But I always get it out on the day that I say I'm going to ship it. Like that's never a problem. Like I'll if I end up getting a bike again, I'll bike over to the post office and send out the cookies and like the payment depends on like the shipping and how much normally it depends on the shipping. The biggest thing is the shipping.
Right, right.
But yeah, no, it just this is what keeps me going and keeps me from being negative about myself.
Good deal, good deal.
Hmm.
All right. Wow, it's an hour and a half. Nice. It's beautiful. Um, well, I'm I'm also big on being thankful about stuff too, about everything, because I never take life for granted because
Yeah.
anything can happen. Um, Also, shout out to a podcaster that I keep forgetting his name, but I'm kind of taking this from because he does this thing at the end of every show. Is name three things that you're thankful for, and also like uh give like any inspiration to whoever watches this. Like three things you're grateful for, and any advice or encouraging words you want to give to somebody in this video, whoever watches,
That's
especially in baking or writing. Like yeah, anything.
yeah. I like that. I like that he does that. With three things. I mean, the very first thing are my friends and family. Like that is something to where I will forever be thankful to my friends and my family because without them, I would not be where I am today. I would not be here doing a podcast. I would not be here having a business. I literally will shout out like I'm gonna shout out you and Katie. You guys are always constantly like messaging me and we'll like message each other in the group chats, have a little fun here and there. We're always doing some serious talks too.
Hmm.
Lakey, I absolutely love and adore her. She is like a little sister to me. I want like I really hope this inspires her to keep doing what she loves and to keep going for parts because I'm very proud of her and I'm very thankful to her for constantly calling me and cheering me up as much as I may not be able to tell her everything that goes on in my life because of adult things, but I could still talk to her about um, theater and motivate her. And then I want to think like my friend groups from camp, Marcus, Carla. Oh no, there's too many people. My whole like little group, we call our group chat the Goobers, so I'm just gonna shout them out. They're amazing. They're very
Heck yeah.
funny, although their jokes are getting old because it's the same joke about me every day. Um, I would really want to shout out Marcus, who is like my little like baking guinea pig. I want like, and then I want to shout out like you guys for, especially with like trying the cookies and telling me what works and what doesn't. I really want again shout out my parents who motivate me to keep doing what I love because my parents are both architects. They found love through architecture with each other. They've been married for 25 plus years. They I want to thank them for just inspiring my story and inspiring me to do what I love and to keep auditioning and keep baking and doing what I love. I want to thank. This is hard. Um, as much as my brother and I don't get along, I really want to thank him. He's somebody where he actually there's one cookie I bake that he absolutely loves and adores, and he really likes me making. He I want to thank him for standing up for me when I couldn't stand up for myself against like my ex friends and the BS that they said to me. I will forever be grateful to him for just being my younger brother. His art is amazing too. He does art. I'm like looking at one of his arts right now. Oh, it's making me bawl a little bit. I'm starting to cry. Um, I want to thank. Um, ooh, this is hard. Um, because I thanked like everybody I could possibly thank. Um, I guess I'll thank like the staff that I have in my like theater server. Without them, I would be going much more insane than my username like says. It's Augie Insane for a reason. Like I do so many shows, but they keep me grounded and they keep my sanity from disappearing. Like I'm really good friends with all of them. So like Nick and Jillian and I'll constantly shout out Luca. Luca's an organized whore. I love him. We call him an organization whore. He's proud of it. He calls himself it. Well, I'll call each other like hoe and whore and bitch. But again, he's very it's the LGBTQ in us.
Gotcha.
I got to meet him and them in real Luca in real life last year. Um, they are an amazing person. They tell me when I'm stressing people out too much, which is what I prefer for people to tell me straight up if I'm stressing you
Mhm.
out or annoying you. Like they're very honest with me. Jillian keeps me grounded. Alyssa's such a sweetheart. Um, I know there's more of my staff. Why am I forgetting it? Oh, Christina. Christina's very sweet. They just all keep me grounded. It's something where they inspire me to do it. So what I hope to do with this and talk about my mental health journey and where I am now, I would like people with any disability or disorder to understand that we could do everything. Maybe people are going to say maybe not everything, but we could do just as many amazing, crazy things as neurotypicals can do. Don't let your disability just kind of let you down. Don't let it push you. Don't let it hurt you. Just don't let it don't think of it as a disadvantage. Think of it as an advantage. And there's always a different way that we can work around things. We're problem solvers. A lot of people with autism are good at math and writing. Like, hell, I may not be a math major, Marcus, but I'm still good at writing. Like my friends say, I'm still good at conversions and talking and advocating for myself. And I want to thank like my therapist. That's who I wanted to thank last. She motivates me to do everything that I do like every week. She says she's very proud of me, and she when I told her that I was doing this, like she immediately hyped me up and she's like, "You're gonna do great. Tell me how it goes after." like talk to me about your thoughts and feelings, and she taught me to write down everything, and just being like, just telling people like, just don't let your disability take a disadvantage. I think that's my food. That
Oh wow. Okay.
is food. Oh, I think.
All right.
Oh, that is that. Oh my God. Buddy. That was a little awkward. I got my food. That's my lunch for later. Um, there goes my dog. Um, knew it was gonna happen
Oh
at
boy.
some time.
Uh,
But yeah, basically, just kind of final thoughts is don't let how like badly things are going, anything negative is going on in your life, like you're just don't let anything take you down. Just keep pushing yourself. Do like what do they call it? Like other than advocating for yourself, telling
mhm.
yourself like in the morning, like I can do this, I'm confident, I'm great, I'm amazing. Just say these good things to yourself and hopefully you'll start to believe them. Cause it took me years to kind of believe at least one of those things being I'm confident because I'm not. But
Mhm.
my friends tell me you're great, you're doing great. Just keep telling yourself that, and
Heck
eventually,
yeah. Heck yeah. All right. To wrap everything up, tell the people where we can find you: Instagram, Facebook,
yeah, I
wherever.
get a lot. I have two Instas. I got my business Insta where people could order off my business. So it's Augie's underscore pastry underscore paradise. And then we have Augie's Adventures DCP, which I need to change that eventually. But that was like when I was still doing the Disney College program. I have TikTok, which I believe is like Augie Insane. I mean, I don't really use my Facebook. Um, but yeah, it's basically you can just find me as TikTok and Instagram. I'm very active on both, or I'm very active on Insta when it comes to like my business and
Mhm.
checking up on friends. Katie and Evan will randomly send me things. Um, but yeah, um, those are my handles. Oh, YouTube. Why am I forgetting YouTube? Damn. Of course I forgot YouTube. Uh, where is my other account? Here it is. My dog's saying his. So my other handles, my YouTube, it's for like my theater that I do, my online theater is Augie's Smule Archives. It's all one word. The A in Augie, the S in Smule, and the A in Archives are all capitalized. My dog wants out.
Yeah. Oh
Those are
man.
my handles.
All right. Well, my name is Kevin Davis. You can find me on Instagram at I am Kevin Davis Official, and all my business tags are in my bio. I am Kevin Davis Official on Instagram, Facebook. I am Kevin Davis CEO. YouTube is Kevirsy. It's Kevysye. If you see this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you for coming on, Augie.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
And we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.